Hey, my friends, Derek here from Bomb Socks with another day of Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ one bite at a time. So yesterday I introduced you to Moses chapter 1 and how overwhelmed Moses must have felt as he saw this world and all of the other worlds and the inhabitants thereof. You know, I love in Moses chapter 1 where you get to verses 9 and 10 after this whole vision. It says, "The presence of God withdrew from Moses, that his glory was not upon Moses. Moses was left unto himself. As he was left unto himself, he fell to the earth. Came to pass that it was for the space of many hours before Moses did again receive his natural strength like unto man. And he said unto himself, Now, for this cause I know that man is nothing, which thing I never had supposed." Keeping in mind, you feel so small. Like I said, you start with this very small thing and then you go so globally and in the whole cosmic universe, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, man is nothing. So this probably made Moses feel very small. I remember reading a little quote from Neil Armstrong as he was standing up on the moon. He said, "It suddenly struck me that tiny pea, pretty and blue, was the earth. I put up my thumb and shut one eye, and my thumb blotted out the planet Earth. I didn't feel like a giant. I felt very, very small." I imagine Moses felt in a very similar way about this. Now, this whole idea of man is nothing, that's not what God wants us to feel. He doesn't want us to feel like we are nothing, but to really see the scope of his creations. Now, one of the things I think is so cool in verses 4 through 7, look at the number of times you see the Lord say, "My son." Look at this. Verse 4, "Behold, thou art my son. Wherefore, look, and I'll show you the workmanship of my hands." Verse 6, "I have a work for thee, Moses, my son." Again, that work is to liberate Israel from Egypt. Verse 7, "I'm going to show this to you again, Moses, my son. You're in the world, and now I show it to thee." Now, one thing to always remember, whenever you have had spiritual experiences, you have got to expect opposition, which is why I've got a video for you that really shows you probably about verses 12 through about 23 or so with regards to Moses chapter 1. And I love this. It actually refers to a talk from Elder Holland called "Cast Not Away Therefore Thy Confidence." One of the best talks ever. So go ahead and watch this and we'll come right back and finish up.
You will recall that the book of Moses begins with Moses being taken up to an exceedingly high mountain. And the glory of God was upon Moses. What then followed was what happens to prophets who are taken to high mountains. He saw God face to face, and he talked with him.
Moses, behold, thou art my son. Wherefore, look, and I will show thee the workmanship of mine hands.
And Moses beheld the earth, yea, even all of it. And there was not a particle of it which he did not behold, discerning it by the Spirit of God. And he beheld also the inhabitants thereof, and there was not a soul which he beheld not. This experience is remarkable by every standard. It's one of the great revelations given in human history. But Moses' message to you today is, don't let your guard down. Don't assume that a great revelation, some marvelous illuminating moment, the opening of an inspired path, is the end of it. What happens to Moses next, after his revelatory moment, would be ridiculous if it were not so dangerous, and so absolutely true to form. In an effort to continue his opposition, in his unfailing effort to get his licks in later if not sooner, Lucifer appears to Moses after God has revealed himself to the prophet, saying, "Moses, son of man, worship me." But Moses is not having it. He has just seen the real thing. And by comparison, this sort of performance is really pretty dismal.
Who art thou? For behold, I am a son of God. Where is thy glory that I should worship thee? Blessed be the name of my God, for his spirit hath not altogether withdrawn from me, and I can judge between thee and God. Get thee hence, Satan. Deceive me not.
The record then depicts a reaction that is both pathetic and frightening. And now, when Moses had said these words, Satan cried with a loud voice and ranted upon the earth and commanded, saying, "I am the only begotten, worship me." And it came to pass that Moses began to fear exceedingly. And as he began to fear, he saw the bitterness of hell. Nevertheless, calling upon God, he received strength.
Depart from me, Satan! For this one God only will I worship, which is the God of glory.
And now Satan began to tremble, and the earth shook.
In the name of the only begotten, depart hence, Satan.
And it came to pass that Satan cried with a loud voice, with weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth, and he departed hence. Always to come again, we can be sure, but always to be defeated by the God of glory. Always. I acknowledge the reality of opposition and adversity that so often come after enlightened decisions have been made, after moments of revelation and conviction. But I bear witness that God has set bounds and limits to the opposing powers of darkness. And when the second and the third and the fourth blows come, fear ye not. The Lord shall fight for you.
I love that. I love that message. So let me have you go back here. If you wanted to actually study out these verses, this is what I would recommend doing. It's verses 12 through 22. Just scan the verses, look for what Moses does, and you can refer back to the video here. When Satan comes tempting, you can mark some key phrases or words that are important to you. I love this phrase, when Satan comes tempting, I will. Because he's always going to come knocking on your door, right? And tell you that you are nothing. But the idea there is you are everything to God. And so keep that in mind as you study Moses chapter 1. It's a phenomenal chapter, and there's so much goodness here. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for sharing these messages. Go check out our amazing gospel-themed socks at bombsocks.com, and you guys have a great day. See you tomorrow. Godspeed. Bye-bye.